Hello guys, it's time to do the Dragunov tutorial for my channel. I know you guys have been waiting very patiently. Thank you for that. I've been sick this week, so I haven't been able to make videos, which is why there's been kind of few, but I'm feeling a lot better. My voice is almost completely back, so it's time to make a lot of content. And today we're going to talk about how to play Dragunov. One of the most requested characters and one of the most popular characters in the game. We should just talk a little bit about Dragunov's sort of reputation in this game before we start to talk about how to play him. I mean, he's known as being one of the most powerful characters in the game. I think that's justifiable. I think anybody who knows what they're talking about would put him in the top 5, preferably top 3, and maybe even at the number 1 spot. But the thing that is unique about Dragunov compared to other top tier characters like, Devil Jin, Xiao Yu, and King, is that Dragunov has very low execution thresholds. He's exceptionally easy to use, while simultaneously being, one of the most powerful characters in the game. And he also looks awesome. And I think these 3 factors combined is what has made Dragunov such a common and popular threat. I personally don't play Dragunov, so in this tutorial I'm going to work off of RB Norway frame data. I'm hoping it's consistent and that it adds up, but if you notice anything that's wrong, let us know in the comment section. So the one thing I need to mention here is that there's one very difficult thing that you need to learn with Dragunov if you're going to play him at a high level. It's not something you need to worry about when you're new to the character, but it is how to perform a true instant while running 2 from point blank range. So like when you're out here, the most important move that Dragunov has is an instant while running 2, like that, right? This is super important, and you're going to be doing it all the time with Dragunov. But this move can be performed from point blank range, so when I'm right here at range 0 against my opponent. And that's hard to do, and so I'm not going to explain how to do it in this video, just because I don't think it's something you need to worry about at all when you're this new. If you're already like an advanced Tekken player, then you probably already know about performing this, but I'm going to put a quick link in the description of me just performing this once. I'm going to do it when I'm going to buffer it out of a down jab like that and then do it. And so you can see what it looks like, and if you're interested, you can go in like practice mode and start trying to practice doing that really nicely. But be aware that this is something that JDCR, who's considered by many to be the greatest Tekken player in history, and a Dragunov main, even messes this up a lot. You can see in tournament matches. So it's like performing perfect electric. It's just one of those really difficult things to do, and I don't think it's something you need to worry about when you're new to the character, or even when you're like intermediate with the character, because if you just take that out of the equation, everything else is kind of really easy to learn. So yeah, check that link out in the description if you want to see what a point blank true instant while running 2 looks like. But now that that's out of the way, I think we should get into the moveset. So the first thing we're going to do, like I always do, is give you a quick primer for punishment, and then we're going to go into like pokes and neutral game. So for standing block punishment, 10 frames, you've got 1-3 for your highest damage option. I think this is your highest damage option, and I don't like it at all, for 2 reasons. The first reason being that it's you've got to be very fast to push the 3 to make this move come out. It's almost like the actual input is 1-3 and not 1-3. So like if you don't push the 3 super fast, it doesn't come out, which can be frustrating. And then the other reason I don't like it is that it doesn't give you significant frame advantage on hit. But you have this option 2-1, which I really like, which gives you 18 damage, so slightly less. But this lands you at a very respectable +6, which means that you can use your block punisher to initiate offense. So I definitely recommend the 2-1 for your 10 frame block punisher instead. The other thing about 2-1 is you have this cheeky extension, which is 2-1-4, and you can tack on a little low like that. I'm just going to mention quickly here, a lot of people say that they want me to put on command history in these tutorials, and I'm sorry guys, I'm really sorry if you're frustrated that I'm not doing that, but I just feel like there's so much clutter on the screen already, and I don't think it's exceptionally useful to like have the command history there. I'm sorry if you disagree, but I'm going to try and say the notations as calmly and clearly as possible, and I hope that suffices. But yeah, this is 2-1-4, and then if you want to get like a wall split, you can use the 2-1-3, but that's very situational. But 2-1 is my recommendation for 10 frame block punisher. And then for 12 frames, you have 4-1. 4-1 is a great move. It's got great range. Surprisingly good damage actually at 27, which is I think above average for 12. I think that's very good. And this has great range. It can be used in combos for wall carry and all kinds of stuff. It's a very good move. And a nice thing about this is that this 2-1 for 10 frames lands you at +6, and this also lands you at +6. So if you can learn how to work off of +6 with Dragunov, you can get a lot of like momentum going in terms of mix-ups from your block punishment. So that's pretty cool. And then for 15 frames you get a launcher. You get down 4-2. It's kind of a standard down 4-2. It is one of the punishable ones. It's not like a Shaheen one that is safe. It's more like in the family with like Leo where and Jack, where you get a punishable down 4-2. But it's got decent range. It's not exceptional range in any case, but it's like your 15 frame block punishing option for like, you know, big stuff like raid charts. And then the other main application of this move is that it's his main option for like if you get, you know, your jabs blocked and you sidestep into a launcher. It's like the main option Dragunov uses for a whiff punish after a sidestep or a sidewalk. So that's super good as well. Okay. And then to talk about while standing, you have 4, which is your 11 frame, as standard as can be. For 12 frames you have 2 options that I think are kind of interesting. You have 1-3, which is your highest damage option, super strong, 32 damage and a wall splat and a knockdown. Very good stuff. The problem with this move is that the while standing 1, the first hit of this string, is very stumpy. It doesn't have great range. You saw it whiffed even from right here. It whiffs. And so you need to be kind of close to the opponent to know that you can get this, which is why I think it's mainly very useful when you're like at the wall at range 0 to like get up with a wall splatting option for damage. But in any other situation, I think your best option is actually while standing 1+2. This is also 12 frames. It's slightly less damage, but it also gives you the knockdown and the wall splat, and I think this is actually an exceptionally good option. So this is what I would recommend. This is punishable on block though, obviously, so you got to be careful, but you know, when you're using it for punishment, that's not something you need to worry about. And then for 15 frames you have a launcher, while standing 2. Super standard, super typical like while standing 2 15 frame launcher. It's like a palm thrust to the nose. It kind of reminds me of that palm thrust that Nicolas Cage kills a guy with in Con Air, which is an amazing movie. If you're take this old man's recommendation, check out Con Air if you haven't seen it. But that's 15 frames from while standing. So that's just a quick primer for like basic block punishment with Dragunov. Very straightforward and easy to perform, just like everything with this character. He's so good. Now to talk a little bit about neutral game, you've got great like poke strings up close. I mentioned 2-1 and 2-1-4 I think are good up close. And then for your main mid, you've got down forward 1. And you know I love down forward 1s. I always talk about down forward 1 in my tutorials. And the reason Dragunov is so good, it actually really reminds me of Katarina's down forward 1. It's like it doesn't have crazy extensions for like mix-ups and stuff. It just has exceptionally good range, a bit of ghost range, and so you're just checking your opponent with this constantly to keep them honest, prevent them from doing crazy stuff like, you know, high crush moves or ducking. And this is just a harassment tool up close, and it's super good. It has this extension, which is down forward 1-4. I don't think this move is very good. That's just my opinion. I know a lot of people like to use this. You see it a lot online. The reason I don't like this, like on counter hit, I think this is completely natural. So I mean, in those cases, it is good for a wall splat and stuff. But there's no like way to know if you're gonna get the counter hit. I don't think this is counter hit confirmable. Maybe it is. Let's check it out actually. Let's see if it is counter hit confirmable. Okay, it might be actually. So that's cool. If you counter hit confirm it, I think it can be really useful. But if you don't just do this extension because it's high. And you know, like in lower ranks, like maybe in the green ranks, you know, this can be abusable. But if you start getting into like yellow or orange ranks, like pushing even the red ranks, which is where I'm playing like my mains like Miguel and Gigas right now, people will always duck this move. And launch you like 100% of the time, and so it can be one of those moves that is dangerous to become too reliant on, right? So my main thing would be like rely on the down forward 1 by itself because it's an exceptional mid poke, and do this for like counter hits, right? Alright, I also want to mention 1-2. I think 1-2 is very good. I mean, standard 1 jab is always important with all characters. Dragunov's is standard in terms of like +1 on block, +8 on hit. But the 2 extension is a mid, which is great to have a mid extension off of a high jab in a lot of cases. You have the 1-2 1, and this third hit is guaranteed if the second hit counter hits. So that's something to note. But that's a cool jab string up close. But mainly like 1-2, 2-1, and down for 1 by itself, I think are like fast, good poking tools. And obviously just down, 1 jab by itself are exceptional poking tools for Dragunov that you should be using a lot. Alright, next I think we should mention, back 4-2-1. Back 4-2 by itself I actually really like, because it's this cool little mid string that you can use. But the reason I want to talk about this move is, if you're playing excuse me, against Dragunov online, you've probably run into a couple of guys who like to really abuse the string to like just mow you down if you don't know how to get out of it and steal rounds. And so let's just talk about how to deal with it as well. So this is back 4-2-1. And it's, I think, something like +4 or +5 on hit. So if your opponent doesn't know how to deal with this, you can just keep going with this move and harass them and kill them. And so the way you need to deal with it is that the third hit is a high, and so that needs to be ducked. And that's how you get out of it. But if you're on the Dragunov side, you can use the fact that people know that they need to duck this third hit to just do the back 4-2, I should say, by itself. Look for that duck, and then you can do like a mid instead. And also this is one of those moves that can be cancelled into an ultimate tackle, and that's done by doing back 4-2 1+2. And Dragunov has a couple of options where he can do ultimate tackles and like Iron Curtain and stuff, but that's not something we need to talk about all that much now. Alright, let's just talk about some other really useful Dragunov moves before we start talking about lows. I think a very good move is back 3 I should say. This is back 3. This is a very fast homing move that's going to cause wall splats, and that's super good because when your opponent is against the wall like this, if they're half decent, they're not going to do a lot of ducking, because ducking is too dangerous at the wall, meaning that the fact that this move is high doesn't matter all that much. But what they do like to do is sidestep and sidewalk, and this move is obviously a homing move and designed to catch that, so it becomes an exceptionally powerful move against sidestepping and sidewalking opponents, and even more powerful at the wall because you can cause wall spats. It also has really good range, so I really like this move. Comes out at 14 frames, which is very fast for a homing move. It's one of the fastest homing moves. And then it's -4 on block, meaning that it is completely safe, but a high though, so just be aware of that. Back 1+2, the Tundra Hammer is an exceptional Dragunov move. This is used for Oki a lot, but you can use it after sidesteps and stuff as well. It's a mid that causes this massive knockdown, and you can get your down 3+4 stomp after it. But it also gives you plus frames on a block, so it's like a tool to lock the opponent down. It's a lockdown tool that you can use to open up offense and create mix-ups and stuff, and it's exceptionally powerful for that. The other main application for the Tundra Hammer that I should mention here is that if we do a little digression here, if you excuse me, we're going to do a little digression on the Dragunov Rage Art. Sorry, I just turned on counter hit, that was the wrong one, Rage. If we talk about the Dragunov Rage Drive a little bit, so he's got while running 2, but if you do the Enrage, the while running 2 with 1+2, you get his Rage Drive, and it becomes a more powerful launcher. I think you get like 443 off of this or something. That's not important right now, but let's just try it. Yeah, and you can get massive combos, but I think the main way to use this move, and I'm just going to mention it pertaining to Tundra Hammer, is that if you spin your opponent and you apply Dragunov's Rage Drive, this move, you can get a guaranteed unscaled Tundra Hammer as a follow-up, which is going to do 20 damage. So you basically tack on 20 damage to the end of your combo, making your combo exceptionally powerful. And so it's a tool used to empower your combo and steal the round when you're in Rage. And let's just what's like a good option to show that? We could do something like this maybe. Yeah, so right there I went from 61 damage to 81 damage off of that Tundra Hammer because I was able to use the Rage Drive to set that move up. There are a couple of Rage Drives like this in the game. Ossicus is another example, and if you look at the damage right there, it says 2080, basically meaning that I got grounded damage with just 20% downscaling guaranteed, which is exceptionally powerful, and I think it's the main way to actually apply Dragunov's Rage Drive. Alright, so that was Tundra Hammer. I mean, it's you know, an Oki tool. People like to knock the opponent down, sidestep, Tundra Hammer for a knockdown and stuff. It's very, very good. And I mean, we mentioned the stomp there as well. We don't need to go into any more depth about the stomp. It's a typical stomp. It's down 3+4 on grounded opponents, and it's a very good option to tack on a lot of damage on opponents who are staying on the ground, or when you can get it guaranteed after a spike or something. Okay. Okay, so the next move we need to talk about, let's just mention this one first, 443. I think 443 is actually a good move because it's homing, it hits for huge damage, and it's got great range. It hits from like way out here. And so the reason I think this move is good is when you're out like in this position, a lot of people like to do a lot of like sidewalking, looking for stuff, especially if they're trying to sidewalk Dragunov's running 2. And if they're looking for Dragunov's running 2, one thing that they're not going to do is duck a lot, because this you know, it's the best mid in the game, right? So it empowers this move and allows you to hit people who are sidewalking, and it's actually safe on block as well. I think it actually gives you something like +3, meaning that it's exceptionally powerful. It's even a wall splitting tool, so I just want to mention that. And now I think we should mention, in my opinion, like Dragunov's best move. I mean, while running 2, obviously one of the best moves in the game, but the move that I find the most frustrating and powerful with Dragunov is actually his up forward 4. I think this move is so good. I think it's ridiculous. And let's talk a little bit about it. So a lot of characters in the game have a 15 frame hop kick. A 15 frame hop kick comes out of 15 frames and is typically -12 or 13 on block. That means that you can obviously punish 15 frames with it. Dragunov doesn't need to do that because he has his down forward too, so he's got that aspect of a 15 frame hop kick covered with this move. And the other reason you use it is obviously you want to crush lows, and so when you think your opponent's going to do a low, you do a hop kick, and if you're right, you get a combo. If you're wrong, you get block punished for 12 or 13 frames. Now, the thing about Dragunov's version of a hop kick, this bootleg hop kick that he has, is first of all, it's not 15 frames. It's much slower. I think it's something like 21 or somewhere around 20, 21, 22 frames, which means that it is slower. But it doesn't really matter if you're using it to crush lows, because it's going to crush those lows and get the hit regardless, right? But the main difference being that because Dragunov's is so much slower and doesn't lead to a full combo on hit, it's completely safe. I think it's -8 or -9. I think, yeah, -9, meaning that it is completely safe on block. So you get this ghetto hop kick that is granted not going to give you the full combo or anything, but it is completely safe on block. And I think most high-level players, I don't know, I'm going to ask some of my friends like what they would prefer, but I would personally much prefer to get like a safe option like this that just leads to a guaranteed chunk of damage, instead of like a standard hop kick that gives you that is punishable on block. I think this is more abusable. Damage matters a lot less than you think in Tekken. Properties matter a lot more, and so I think this move has exceptional properties because it has better range than any other hop kick as far as I know, and it's got and it's safe on block, which is exceptional. And so what you do for the guaranteed follow-up is down 4-1-3. Down 4-1-3, and this works at the wall, and it's actually going to cause wall combos in some situations, and can even break the wall, meaning that like in your breakable walls and stuff, it can become a full launcher. This is an exceptional move and very abusable, and yeah, super good. So it comes highly recommended. Alright, so anything else we need to talk about before we go into some lows? Well, okay, let's do a little section here on While Running 2, because obviously it's your most important move and Dragunov's signature move, right? So, While Running 2 with Dragunov is like one of the best moves in the game, and the major reason he's considered one of the strongest characters in the game. So the reason for this is when you're running in and you're doing a fast running move like this, say for example if you're Claudio or you're Elisa, you have a move like this that gives you plus frames on block. Dragunov's also gives you plus frames on block. Main thing about those other characters is that their moves are high, meaning that they are duckable, and so you need to mix them up in order to be successful. Otherwise your opponent's going to duck and launch you. Kazumi and Gigas have like mid versions of these moves, but they're not nearly as abusable as Dragunov's. They just cause a knockdown on hit and give you an unexceptional mix-up with Gigas and just some like setup potential with Kazumi. With Dragunov, first of all, you are mid, so you are unduckable, obviously. You're faster, the move comes out exceptionally fast, and it gives you a massive amount of plus frames on block. I think this is listed as like 527 on RB Norway, so I'm going to split the difference and call it +6. I usually, like in my mind when I've been dealing with this move online, I always mentally have like the note +6 on block for this move. If it is actually 5 or 7 or something like that, please let us know, but I think it's alright to just consider it +6. And so what this means is that, okay, on hit you get this high-powered knockdown, 25 damage, and massive Oki potential. Dragunov has great Oki. I just messed up the input there. On block you get +6, and so you can get a really good mix-up, and Dragunov has great mix-ups. On counter hit, you get a super high damage launch. That was not even an optimal combo, like I'm not a Dragunov player, so I just did whatever, but it did 91 damage, which is more than half of the opponent's entire life bar. So basically what I'm trying to say here is you get a hit, you're in a very favorable position. You get a counter hit, you've basically taken the round most of the time, or at least half the round. You get blocked, you're still in a favorable position because you get plus frames and a mix-up. And so no matter what happens, as long as you get this move out and make it connect with your opponent's hitbox in some way, you're in a favorable position. So you can break any stalemate, you can open up offense, you can cause wall breaks, wall splats, you can knock the opponent down, you can start mix-ups. Basically, like any situation, this move is super good. And so there needs to be some sort of caveat introduced into the game to make this move balanced. And so what the developers have come up with is that it is sidewalkable. So if you can predict that this move is going to come out, you can sidewalk it, and then you can, if you space it well enough and you're fast enough, you can get to Dragunov's back, right? This is very rare. At the highest levels of competition, you don't see that performed a lot. Obviously it does happen because some people are super good, but the reason you don't is, first of all, the timing needs to be very specific. If you mess up the timing, all that's going to happen is that you're going to get hit by the move instead. And so the safer option for a lot of people is that they just figure, okay, I'm not going to try and sidewalk it, I'm just going to block it and eat the mix-up. But make a note of here that if your opponent doesn't want to take the risk, if they're not super confident that they can sidewalk the move, their best option is to just let you hit with it or like block it and eat a free mix-up. So that's super favorable for Dragunov. Like, he's in a very favorable position, like 99% of the time when he's applying this move, which is why the move is so good. The other way you can deal with it, if you're here and you're, to learn how to deal with Dragunov, one thing that I like to do if I'm playing, not a good opponent obviously because he's not going to let me do it, but if I'm playing against an opponent where I feel like I have good reads and I know when they're going to do the move, instead of sidewalk it, I use a long range counter hit move, and I try and blow them up with a counter hit move, which is super dangerous because you need to outrange the while running too, which is hard because it has good range. But if you're playing like Katarina and you have Katarina's exceptionally strong while standing 4 for a counter hit move, you can interrupt this move and get like a counter hit launch, which is dangerous. But if you're confident that you can make it happen, then yeah, it can work. And so I'm going to reiterate here that I'm doing instant while running 2s right now from a spaced up position, which is performed by doing 4-4-4-2, and that's super important and something that you need to know how to do with Dragunov to play him. But you can also perform this with a very precise input from 0 range if you're doing like a perfect while running or true instant while running 2, and I'm going to put in the description a quick link to what that looks like, but I'm not going to show it in this video because it's too difficult to worry about when you're learning a new character for the first time. It's just going to end up being a waste of time for you, in my opinion. If you can learn how to do it, obviously, it's amazing. Okay, let's talk a little bit about lows. Down 2, and I could pretty much leave it right there, and I don't need to talk anymore, because down 2 is like the complete package. It's like the main low for Dragunov. It's exceptionally good. It's 18 frames to come out, I'm pretty sure still, which means that it's unseeable. It crushes highs really quick. It's got good crush properties. It's got good range, and it's got good tracking. It also hits grounded. So this is like a complete package for a low. And there's no reason to really use anything else. I mean, it's so good. And if you've been playing against Dragunov, you know about this move, right? The main weakness of the move is that it's so good and so common that it becomes easy to predict it, because like, why wouldn't you do this move right now? That's basically it, but it's super, super good. The main thing about it, obviously, is that it recovers in full crouch. So if you want a low poke that doesn't do that, I think down 3 is really good. And I also think that down 4 is good. And these moves both have like exceptionally long range for low pokes. I mean, they're really good low pokes. So I mean, even if Dragunov didn't have down 2, he would have decent low pokes in the shape of these two moves. So, you know, great package for low pokes. The down 2 is -13, so be aware of that. I think down 4 is the safest option for like a standard low poke that you have. I think down 4 is the best option, because I actually think that down 3 is minus a lot. I think it was listed as -16. I don't know if that's true, but if this is launch punishable, you probably shouldn't use this. I think it's probably easier to just use the down 4. This is down back 4, so if you want to do like a standard down 4, you have to do down back 4 with Dragunov. I guess we could mention his Snaky Edge quickly. I've mentioned quickly in previous videos that I'm not a huge fan of these sweeps, and I got a lot of like critical feedback, people who disagree with me, which is fine, you know, it's just an opinion of mine. The reason I don't like these moves is, you know, I don't struggle dealing with them. That's not the problem. I think I was kind of misunderstood when I said that. I think the main reason I don't like these moves all that much is that, you know, I'm making educational content for new players on YouTube, and I think when you're new or inexperienced with this game, and you find a move like this which is really, you know, it's easy to hit with, and you get a huge combo, and it's fun when you're new to the game, it becomes a little bit of a crutch, and it's easy to become over-reliant on it. And so you keep doing it, and it works really well, but then you get up to like just the higher green ranks, and all of a sudden people are just blocking it and launching you. And you've wasted, you know, a lot of time becoming over-reliant on this, and now maybe if you had spent you know, more time focusing on stuff like how to do a proper backdash cancel, or, you know, how to do a proper instant while running 2 or something, you might be in a better position in terms of, you know, getting more experienced and learning more about the game. So that's the only reason I'm not a huge fan of these moves. I think they are like a crutch for a lot of people, and that's not very constructive. But obviously something that you guys pointed out that you're absolutely 100% right about is that sweeps like this can be very useful when you're trying to duck highs. If you have a hard read on a high, you can duck under that high and you can get a launch, and that's great. I don't use it because my preferred option in those cases, I like to duck and do a while standing launcher instead. But, you know, this works, and so it is a usable option in some cases. But my recommendation would be use it in very specific cases, and don't just throw it out because you're panicking or something, because I don't think that's going to work in the short term, but not in the long term, right? And so it's down back 3, by the way. It's launch punishable on block, obviously, and then you do like down 2 while standing 4, back 2, back 1 2 for the combo. We're going to talk more about combos in the combo section, obviously, but down back 3, down 2 while standing 2, back 1 2. I'm pretty sure is the combo that you want to use. Yeah, that works. Okay. Right, so that's lows. Next, we should talk about quarter circle forward and his roll dash, right? I guess first we could just mention that Dragunov has a backswing blow, a really cool move with Dragunov that you should use when you're good with him and you're able to get like hard reads. And the reason it's good is like it's obviously very punishable. So what you do with this move is like you do like jabs or something, and you get blocked, and then when you think your opponent's going to attack with like a jab of their own, you make it whiff with the backswing blow and you get a launch. And if you had a hard read and you made it work, you get a huge combo as your reward, and you look awesome and everybody cheers. But obviously you need to have that hard read and you need to be right, because the move is punishable. it's performed by doing quarter circle back 2, which is, I'm messing it up a lot here because I don't do a lot of quarter circle back motions on pad, obviously. It's a rare notation. Okay, so now let's talk about your roll dash. Dragunov's roll dash is kind of unique in terms of like the animation. You can see like he doesn't slide along the ground like, you know, Leo or Lily, like he's on ice. He does this like kind of quick duck instead. It's got a great high crouch properties, of course, but his moves out of the crouch dash all have really decent range, so it's not like he's stumpy or anything. And I'm going to mention here that my favorite transition into this, you know, apart from doing it manually with quarter circle forward, is to do forward 3 and then down forward. Forward 3, down forward transitions manually into the roll dash, and it's a great transition. I actually really like forward 3 by itself because it's such a long range, like mid. And then you can, when you get hit, you can go into this and you can do stuff. But it's the forward 3 by itself is like 20 frames, so it's obviously kind of slow. But that's like your main transitional option. And I think Dragunov's crouch dashes are mainly used for combos, but you can use them for a lot, like whiff punishing and a lot of stuff as well. They're not like huge mix-up tools, like, you know, Leo or anything, but they're good. So your moves are, you've got 1, which is a safe, very high-powered high launcher. And then the mix-up is 2, which is a punishable, very powerful mid launcher. So it's that classical Tekken dichotomy of like, do you want the punishable mid or the duckable high? But they're both like exceptionally powerful launchers that are going to lead to a lot of damage. And one option you see good Dragunov players use a lot is they will like, you know, move around out here, sidestep a lot, and when their opponent gets impatient, doesn't move, they just go in very quickly with a quarter circle forward 1 for the launch. For the whiff punish, and then they get great damage, right? A lot of people also use forward 1+2, which is another great option for like similar reasons. Yeah, so these are launchers, and I'm going to show you how to combo off of them later. Then you have 3. This is a good long range low. I really like this move. On counter hit, it gives you it goes into kind of like a built-in throw, crosses the opponent up and does 40 damage, which is very solid, so I like that a lot. And then my favorite move, and a move that you don't see that much out of quarter circle forward, I'm guessing there's probably a good reason for it that I just don't understand, but I think that quarter circle forward 4 actually looks exceptionally powerful. It gives you this cool little like attack throw for 35 damage. It is mid. But if you can actually do like a king style multi-throw off of this. You know, Dragunov is a little bit of a grappling character, so I think what you do off of this, I mean, I haven't played this character in like years, but it's like, yeah, so quarter circle forward 4 on hit, you do 1, 3, 4, 2, and you can like extend it into this cool multi-throw for like 55 damage, which is obviously massive. So that's pretty cool, not super important or anything. I mean, Dragunov has a lot of like situational throwing stuff. You know, you've got your scorpion scissors, you've got, you know, you can cancel 4-4-2 into that throw and stuff. He has a couple of things like this, but this is like for when you're like more technical with the character. You know, he's got his manual low parry with down forward 1+2 and cool stuff like that, but this is a basic tutorial, so we're not going to worry too much about that. And then the final option out of your roll dash is 1+2, and it's just your while standing 1+2 out of the roll dash. So you've got a powerful knockdown mid that's punishable on block in the shape of 1+2. Alright, have we covered all of the really important stuff? Is it time to do some combos? I think so. Alright, so let's teach you some Dragunov combos and some Dragunov wall combos. I'm sorry guys, I know a lot of you are annoyed that I don't put on like command history in this section. I don't like command history. I think it really clutters up the screen and I don't think it adds that much, but I'm gonna try and like say the notations as calmly and clearly as possible, and I hope you forgive me for not giving you the command history. But yeah, I'm gonna give you 2 standard combos that you can do for like your like all of your main launchers. It's going to work off of down forward 2, wild standing 2, quarter circle forward 1, quarter circle forward 2, back swing blow, up forward 2. These combos are going to work. So I'm going to give you like one very standard easy option with built-in wall carry. That would be my like main recommendation for new guys. And then I'm going to try and give you a little bit more of like a big boy option for when you want to extend wall carry and stuff. But the main combo, I'm going to show it a couple of times, and then I'm going to like explain the notation. So let's use down forward 2 for the example. Okay, messed it up right there. Alright, so the combo I'm doing is I launch with down forward 2 obviously, then the damage filler is forward 4-4-3, which is that move. I then spin right away with a back 4-3, which is that move. I then run up and I do 3-1-2, which is this ender, right? Which has good damage and wall carry. 3-1-2. And so this is going to work off of like most of your stuff, right? So it's going to work off of, for example, like while standing 2. You can do the exact same thing, right? Great. So I mentioned that I wanted to give you guys one more option that's a little bit cooler. It gets a little bit technical, but I hope that's okay. If you don't know about like roll dashes, they can be cancelled with up inputs. So if I do like a roll dash like this and then I tap up, that's going to cancel the roll dash, and then I can go straight into a move like a one jab, and that allows me to do like great like extended wall carry stuff. So Dragunov has this option of like forward 3 down forward, which goes into roll dash or crouch dash if you prefer, and then you can cancel that. So you can use that to create a cool combo, and it's going to look like this. So what I just did there is, I mean, I just ended it with a while running 2, but you can do like other stuff there as well. You can do like whatever ender you prefer after the forward 1+2 spin. But the combo I did is I did the same like damage filler that I did earlier. Launch forward 4-4-3. Then I did a single one jab to refloat. I did forward 1 down forward for the roll dash. I then canceled that with up, and I did after the up I go instantly into a one jab. And then I spin with forward 1+2, which is this really powerful spin move, and then you've got your spin, and you can run up for your ender and do what you prefer. And yeah, that's a little bit more technical to perform if you're trying to learn this combo. And what happens when you do the difficult part, which is the cancel the roll dash into the one, what you get a lot of time right here is you get the quarter circle forward one, and basically what that means is that you didn't cancel. You need to like cancel the roll dash with up, chill for a split second, and then do the one. You can't do the one when you're still in the animation of the quarter circle forward, because you're just going to get the quarter circle forward one, right? So it needs to be that. You see that little like hiccup delay I do after I cancel? That's what you need to do. And so this is going to work, like I said, off of this launcher, and it's going to work off of like all your like main launchers. The only caveat that I'm going to add to that is that when you use quarter circle forward 2, if you go straight into your 4-4-3, it's going to whiff unless you implement a slight delay. So let's try and show that. Usually it does anyway. Maybe they've made this more consistent. Alright, so yeah, sometimes this move does whiff when you do this damage filler. Right now, oh, there we go. Yeah. So it's a little bit of a timing thing. But if you just implement like a very slight delay like that, it's going to hit consistently every time. So the other launches, you don't really need to worry about that. But with this one, sometimes you do. And then, like I said, the follow-ups are the same as usual. So right? Great. So the other launchers, like the other combos that you need to do, let's give you something for the Snaky Edge. I'm just going to give you like a simple option here. There might be higher damage options. I'm not 100% sure. But I think what you want to do off of the Snaky Edge, which is down back 3, is a down 2 into a while standing 4. You then spin with a back 2-1, and then you run up and you can do whatever ender you want. But you can use this option that I showed you, 3-1-2. So that's going to look like this. Alright. One more time. Okay, there we go. And then finally, very importantly, obviously, let's show you something off of the counter hit running 2. So as you can see right there, that was exactly the same as off of the Snaky Edge, which makes it very easy to perform. Did 90 damage, which is more than half of the life bar, which is obviously massive. You can do like big boy combos when it comes to this counter hit while running 2 as well. By doing, yeah, I mean, you used to have to do, I think, back in the day, like in Tag 2 and stuff, instant while standing 4, or you needed to do, was that move, what I did right there. This is something that is a little bit technical, you don't need to worry about it that much, but when you're doing roll dashes with a character, like I'm doing right there, if you do quarter circle forward, like down, forward, forward, you're going to get quarter circle forward 4 like that. But what I did there instead is I did a down, forward, and then I skipped the last forward input. If you do that, you get access to your while standing moveset out of crouch dash. This is one of those like hidden things that, you know, if you don't play roll dash characters, you don't know about Tekken. And you used to have to do that to get a good combo off of your counter while running 2. But now, because you can do, you know, this, you don't have to. And I think you can still do just a normal instant while standing for the float. Let's see if that works. Yeah, so that works fine. You should be able to combo off of that as well with a spin. Let's see. Yeah, alright. Okay. So those are like some standard combo options. Like the first one I showed you, obviously the main thing, and you can use this thing that I showed you with the cancel, that one, to really extend and make some crazy long wall carry combos with Dragunov, but that's for when you are a little bit more advanced with the character, in my opinion. So let's just go to the wall and wrap this up with some cool wall stuff. So let's go to the wall. For wall splatting options, I mean, I mentioned, I think back 3 is good. Homing, high, fast. Obviously the while running 2 is going to work. This on counter hit is going to work. The down forward 1-4. Back 2-1. Back 1-2, I should say. Back 1-2 is going to work. This is punishable though, so just be aware of that. And then when you get the wall splat, you have a couple of options for the combo. What you've seen me use in this guide so far that I like to use, or I mean, I never play Dragunov, so I don't use anything with him, but I think what I would use is that. This is, okay, so for the example, let's just use down forward 1-4. So down forward 1-4, and then I do back 2. Back 2 recovers in full crouch. You can see he's in his full crouch animation. So I just do 1+2, and I get a while standing 1+2. So wall splat, back 2, while standing 1+2, and that gives me 61 right here, which is very, very good. So this would be like my main recommendation. Other stuff you can do, I'm pretty sure you can do stuff like, yeah, you see that used a lot, and that's less damage, but that's back 2-1-3, which is like he does have his back 2-1, and then he does his normal Snaky Edge, which you can do for a wall combo as well. I mean, we haven't talked about this yet, but you know, his normal Snaky Edge and also this move can be cancelled into like command grabs and stuff, but that only work on crouchers. Don't worry about it. And then the final option, I think, if you want something super easy, it's just the 3-1-2 that I showed you as like the wall carry ender, or the generic ender with Dragunov. Actually works for a fast option at the wall as well. This is less damage though, that only gives you 56. So I think this might actually be your best option, the back 2 into the shoulder. If you know of any other cool like Dragunov stuff you can do at the wall, let us know in the comments. What does that do? 85. This is Dragunov's unblockable. I think it's called like the Blizzard or something. It's not useful or anything. I just thought it would be cool to show here. You can get a wall spot with that if you manage to really cause some hesitation. And yeah, one combo that I didn't talk about because we already mentioned it is that off of your up forward 4 you get the guaranteed down 413, and this, as you can see here, you would not expect it. I really didn't expect this to work, but it does work perfectly even at the wall. So that's like your guaranteed mini combo off of that. I think that's going to wrap up our Dragunov guide, guys. There are a lot of stuff, you know, that we didn't talk about, like, you know, crazy throws, scorpion scissors, and you know, stuff like that, and stuff like that, and stuff. But you know, it's gonna come later. For now, I just want to give you like a very basic package that you can use to really start wrecking online. I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you want to see next. Yeah, thank you very much, and bye bye.